You open the fridge. You look at the salad. You don't want it. You want the cheese, the leftover meat, the thing that actually fills you up. And somewhere in the back of your head, a voice says you probably shouldn't. Stop. That pull you feel. Toward fat, toward protein, toward the dense and the rich and the satisfying. That is not a character flaw. That is 50,000 years old. And once you understand what Stone Age humans actually ate, not the textbook version, not the movie version, you will never feel guilty about opening the fridge again, because the real story is stranger than anything you've imagined, and most of it is still running inside you, right now. Here is what most people picture. Ugh. Hunting. Dragging something back to a cave. Eating meat around a fire. Always meat. Only meat. Some of that is true. Most of it is wrong. Researchers have read the chemical signatures preserved in ancient teeth and bones across the world. And what that evidence shows is something textbooks rarely mention. There was no single Stone Age diet. Not even close. Some groups got 60% of their calories from plants. Others, closer to 70% from meat and fish. It shifted by region, by season, by what the land gave them. But one thing held across every single group ever studied. Every single one. Not one group was vegetarian. Not one group ate less than 15% of their calories from animals. Your body was not built for one food. It was built for everything. But not all foods were equal. And what they always went for first, before the muscle, before the fillet, before anything a modern butcher would recognize. That tells you something about who you still are. When Ugg made a kill, he didn't go for the steaks. He went for the marrow, inside the leg bones, thick, dense, rich. He cracked them open with a stone and ate what was inside. Because marrow is fat, and fat delivers nearly twice the calories of protein or carbohydrate. In a world where the next meal was never guaranteed, fat wasn't an indulgence. Fat was survival. He didn't eat it alone. The first piece went to Muga, then the children. This was not generosity in the modern sense. It was the logic of a group that survived together, or didn't survive at all. The bone passed from hand to hand, until nothing was left. Your body still does this today. That pull you feel toward butter, toward the fattier cut, toward the thing that actually satisfies, that is not a failure of willpower. That is the same signal that kept every one of your ancestors alive long enough to have children. Your brain is running the exact same program Ugg ran 50,000 years ago. But here is where it gets strange. Qesem Cave, Israel, 400,000 years old, long before Ugg, long before modern Homo sapiens. Researchers found animal bones, fallow deer, with the skin still on, stored deliberately in the same location again and again. The skin, they realized, preserved the marrow inside the bone for up to 9 weeks. These early humans weren't eating what they caught. They were aging it, saving it, coming back when they needed it. No pottery, no container of any kind, just bone, skin, and patience. The oldest evidence of food preservation ever found on Earth. The world's first canned food. Now, something sweet. There is a cave near Valencia, in Spain. On its wall, someone carved an image that has survived for millennia, made long after Ugg's time, but recording a behavior that goes back much further. A human figure on a rope climbing a cliff face, surrounded by bees, arm reaching deep into a hive, getting stung, climbing anyway. For honey. Honey was, to the ancient brain, the most extraordinary substance in existence. Dense with sugar, immediate energy, rare, desperately, dangerously rare, and never available without cost. Your brain treats sugar today the exact same way. The same dopamine circuits that lit up when Ugg found a hive light up when you open a chocolate wrapper. The same reward signal, the same intensity, calibrated for a world where sugar meant climbing a cliff, not reaching into a supermarket shelf. The cliff is gone. The craving stayed. So the next time you eat one piece of chocolate and immediately reach for another, now you know. That is not weakness. That is a program built for scarcity, running in a world of abundance. Your brain doesn't know the cliff is gone. But we have only talked about the parts of the Stone Age diet that still sound familiar. Meat, marrow, honey, things you recognize. Now we get to the parts that don't. The things they ate that most modern people, given a choice, would refuse, and that your body has absolutely no problem with. Insects, not as a dare, not as a desperate last resort, as food, regular, unremarkable, lunch. Fossilized human feces, thousands of years old, contain the remains of beetles, ants, and larvae. Termites, grubs, larvae. High protein, good fat, no hunting, no weapons, no risk. Always available. 2 billion people on the planet today still eat insects regularly. Ugg didn't think of this as unusual. He thought of it as lunch. Rock had been collecting grubs since he was little. Muga had shown him which logs to turn over, which nests to avoid. By the time he was 6, he knew more about where to find protein than anyone who had never needed to. The disgust you feel right now is cultural. Your biology has no objection at all. And then there's this. Did Stone Age humans deliberately eat meat that was already rotting? John Speth at the University of Michigan found the answer. Yes, not by accident, not in desperation, as a technique. The same principle behind aged cheese, behind cured meat, behind fermented fish, foods humans have prized across every culture for thousands of years. Your stomach was built for this. It still remembers. And then there is the fact that took researchers years to sit with. In a cave in Somerset, England, called Goughs Cave, archaeologists found human bones, with cut marks on them, from stone tools. The bones had been systematically cleaned of flesh, the same way they processed animal kills. Some of the skulls had been shaped, worked into containers, engraved, 14,700 years ago, tens of thousands of years after Ugg's time. But modern Homo sapiens, not a different species, not a distant relative. Us, researchers at the Natural History Museum in London, were specific. This was not starvation, not a desperate choice by people with nothing else available. The caloric value of a human body is far below that of a deer or a bison. If they had needed calories, there were easier ways to find them. This was something else, repeated, deliberate, part of how they dealt with death, a ritual we may never fully understand. Here is what all of this adds up to. Ugg's gut, the community of bacteria living inside him, was built for roughly 150 different plant species every year. Roots, tubers, bark, seeds, berries, leaves, fungi, things that changed with every season and every place they traveled. Researchers have analyzed bacteria preserved in ancient human remains. The microbial communities they found look nothing like the gut of a modern Western person. They resemble the gut of someone still living a traditional life, eating the way humans ate for most of our existence. The average person in the modern Western world eats around 20 different plant species a year. 20. Your gut still carries most of the same bacterial species Ugg had. They are not gone. They are not broken. They are hungry. Your microbiome is ancient. Your diet is not. And here is what that means for you right now. Not in an abstract way, but in the body you are sitting in. Every craving that doesn't make rational sense. Every hunger that comes back no matter how much you've eaten. Every pull towards something fatty, something sweet, something your brain insists is worth it even when your better judgment says no. That is Ugg. Still in you. Still running. Your body hasn't forgotten a single thing. It's been 50,000 years. Not one update. The next time you open the fridge and reach past the salad, you're not failing. You're running software that is hundreds of thousands of years old. The next time you can't stop at one piece of something sweet, Ugg understands. He climbed a cliff for it. Got stung 100 times. Considered it worth every second. He didn't eat it there. He brought it back. Honey was the one thing the whole camp stopped for. Children first, then the elders, then whoever was left. Nobody ate honey alone. That wasn't how honey worked. What you carry in your body, the cravings, the instincts, the hungers that don't follow your rules, none of it is random. All of it was built by people who survived things most of us can't imagine, and who left you a body that still remembers how. What's the one food you absolutely cannot resist? Is your ba, no matter what. Leave it below. I have a theory about why, and it goes back 50,000 years. Who knows what comes next? Ugg knows. Subscribe.